The other day I streamed my test of Inconspicuous, thought it would be done in 30 minutes, but then my discoveries led to more and more testing that ended with me descending into madness and questioning everything about spotting in the game. Rather than make you guys watch me slowly creep into insanity over the course of 3 hours, I'll recap it all here along with some further testing. Also, before any of you stream watchers click off, I did in fact go mad, the skills were working. Here's the question as I understand it about Inconspicuous. Does it reduce the range you can be spotted, or make you less likely to be spotted per tick? The definition for tick in this case will be that the game rolls a chance to check if you are spotted every X amount of time. I set up in this parking lot by the laundromat in Riverside. The parking spaces are 3 tiles wide, so they make a convenient measuring stick. The goal is to test how far away I am spotted while standing and crouching with a control character, and then while using the Inconspicuous trait. In the debug mode settings, I turned on the pathfinding renderer and the world sound renderer, so that we can see when the zombie spots the character and also make sure it's not sound causing that spotting. Starting off with the control characters, one of which didn't keep the name I put in for whatever reason. Zombies tend to spot the character around 18 to 19 tiles away while standing and crouching. Yes, the maximum distance spotted while crouching is basically the same as when standing. I'll explain that later. The fence is there to make it easier to see my location, but it also causes the pathfinding renderer to place marks down that do not move. Being out in the open, it renders a moving white line that leaves the exact spotting distance a little harder to discern. I then moved on to testing the wooden fence because during my stream I discovered zombies could spot you through them and windows even when crouched down. At first I was confused by how a zombie could see me behind a fence, but now that I've been able to think about it for a while, it's obvious. If I can see through the fence while crouched behind it, why wouldn't the zombie be able to see through it? It does leave a question about whether the extra low crouching animation makes much of a difference when you're near solid objects. Now that I've answered the first part of the question, I'll move into the meat of things. Place a wooden wall between me and the zombie with a single tile gap well within sight distance. Crossing in front of the gap will allow me to see if spotting is tick-based. The control character was spotted while sneaking past the gap every single time. This probably means the wall was close enough to the zombie that the chance to be spotted even while sneaking was 100% or higher. That's okay though, because a control character with level 10 sneak could sneak past sometimes. In fact, there's a decent chance to sneak past a 2-tile gap without being spotted. This clearly points towards spotting being some sort of tick-based mechanic. Next, I redo the same test, but using a character with Inconspicuous. Once again, the character is spotted around 19 tiles away while standing or crouching. Same deal with the fence. The difference comes with the gaps in the wall testing. Note that this character doesn't have any sneak skill yet. It can sometimes sneak past a single tile gap, and once it even managed to cross a 2-tile gap without being spotted. While standing, it was spotted every single time, but I believe this is an issue of distance. What do I mean? Well, the spotting mechanic appears to be tick and distance based. So while moving, the game checks if you're spotted every tick. The chance to be spotted is based on how many tiles away you are from the zombie. For example, if the max range a zombie can spot you is 20 tiles, and moving on that tile has a base 10% chance for you to be spotted, then sneaking and Inconspicuous would decrease that chance by a percentage amount. Every tile you get closer to the zombie, the higher the base chance to be spotted per tick while moving. The moving part is important, as it seems if you are not moving, you only need to pass one spotting check, but as soon as you or the zombie moves, more checks will need to be passed. Here's a clip of me sneaking against the fence to avoid leaving my tile. It takes a bit, but the zombie does spot me. Since the character wasn't always spotted at the maximum distance while standing, it means you could be able to cross a single tile gap at the maximum distance a small percentage of the time. Finally, I added level 10 sneak into the mix and started crossing even 3 tile gaps successfully, which answers my insanity about sneak not working during the stream. The test I did while walking towards the zombie doesn't produce useful results. Inconspicuous reduces the chance you are spotted per tick. If you are only within range of being spotted for a single tile, it's pretty good while sneaking. For example, when crossing in front of individual windows. Once you want to go multiple tiles without being spotted, you'll need to gain some levels in sneak for consistency. Running and sprinting didn't appear to increase the maximum distance a zombie could spot you either, so the choice to begin sneaking is based on an unchanging distance. My personal takeaway is that Inconspicuous acts the same way as sneaking, which is reducing your chance to be spotted per tick by a percentage. I assume that it is always active, unlike sneaking, so there is a chance you could slip past an unseen zombie without ever knowing you needed to be sneaking. As far as whether it's worth the trait point cost, that is up to you. Since it only reduces spotting chance by a percentage, it'll never be the silver bullet you need, but a gamble that has to be planned around. Once you start planning around gambling, you might as well remove it and choose to do something more consistent. That being said, one extra zombie noticing you is often the last nail in your coffin. Now that is done, I gotta say it blows my mind how good sneaking is even when it is such a small difference. It always felt like it reduced spotting distance by a few tiles, but instead it was a gamble all along, one that I apparently won frequently.